I don't have to like my stop out, but I have to accept it as part of my system. So the market, we're looking at the SPY. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a SPY or any ticker, but we're using the SPY and just this past trading day because we went on an absolute rocket the moment the Fed was talking. Just a big boom candle. What happened though? Some people made money and some people got slapped up. And the reason why they probably lost money is because we did this run up and then we were trying to figure out when to get in, right? We were emotional, we were fearful of missing out, right? And we were just hitting a trigger instead of waiting and letting the play come to us. So we're gonna play it out, and what we're looking for is our setups, okay? And you know your boy, I'm on supply and demand. That's my trading strategy. That's my edge. So we're gonna utilize this price action and then see how it plays out and then go from there. So your boy's gonna go ahead and hit this play button. This is a market walkthrough. Boom, first stick. So SPY takes off. Everybody's like, dang, what's going on? Now, what are we doing? We're either A, you're jumping in, or B, you're sitting on your hands, right? So either way, you're making a decision as you're watching this go. But at what point do we enter a call or short this position, right? Right now, you don't see a real opportunity, right? You don't touch this, right? So we sit on our hands. Okay. Still moving, we're still moving. Now, as we're looking at this, I need you to understand there is no signal that's triggering us to enter a position for calls. There's no signal for us to enter short. So again, if this was you and you say, oh, red candle, it's time to short, from what position did you do that, right? Was there an actual setup or no? Trust me, it's gonna all start making more sense, okay? In this situation, we had this big stick, right? And then we had some top wicks that happened, right? So we're assuming that the seller stepped in and then we're gonna get pushed down. Anytime data comes out or the Fed is talking, our mindset goes, okay, the first candle is just the manipulation candle. So we're waiting for the short. Well, this did form something called an engulfing bearish bar. And I'm gonna reference this sheet, okay? This is my cheat sheet. This is a bearish engulfing bar where the body of the red candle swallows the body of the green candle. Now, this is your trigger of a potential reversal. However, we need confirmation. What is confirmation after a big move like this? Well, we have the 1 and 2, but the third candle, right? The next candle did not create a bearish imbalance. Instead, it was a big green candle and it filled this void. This instantly tells you that this is a false move, right? This is not a bearish setup, right? So we keep playing, we let it go because we don't know what's going on. Now we see a potential setup, right? We finally get to a point where the market has come to us. We didn't catch this bar, right? We were like, oh man, we missed out. But if we're practicing and sticking to our plan, then we're saying, okay, we need price action to give us a signal that we are going to go up or go down. This is our first signal that we will see a continuation. Why? You get a hammer at the bottom of a retracement, right? And then that's followed by a solid body. This is similar setup as like a morning star, but you know, the hammer is there too. So you can see the two setups, red, green, green. So what do? You draw it out because this now becomes demand. Okay, and I label it accordingly. When you're looking at the 1 minute time frame, this is the 1 minute, everybody. You probably want to identify your boxes in like a different outline color. The reason why you do that is because the supply and demand that you find on your longer time frames, your dailies, your weeklies, your hourlies, right? They're better setups for you. But the intradays, they aren't typically as strong, but you're day trading. So you need to be able to differentiate what is intraday demand and what is like an hourly or daily or weekly demand. So what do? You have two options. Either A, you hop into this play right now. If you hop into this play right now, you have to come to the realization. This is acceptance. This is the part that I'm telling you about. You have to come to the realization that if you hop into calls right here, then your true stop loss is below demand. Confirmation below demand. What is the problem with this? The problem is that we don't know how high we're going. We're intraday trading. We just took off like a rocket. So all you know is that this is a pretty big risk, right? This is where acceptance and agreement comes in. I don't have to like my stop out, but I have to accept it as part of my system. If you enter, you have to accept that, okay, I'm entered here. My true stop loss is there. Am I willing to let my play out, right? So you accept that. Or you follow your plan, you don't rush into the position, and you understand that the market always comes back, or it always shows you a play. So what I would do personally, if I seen this, I'm sitting on my hands. Why? Because two things. One, this would be my confirmation bar. However, if this is demand and we created an imbalance, I'm going to wait to see if price comes back to touch my demand, and then that's going to be my proper entry. I'm going to press play and let's see what happens. Does price come back to pick us up, or does it take off without us? Either way, it's acceptance. We have to accept letting it go or waiting for it to come back to us. What happens? Press play, it's taking off. We see a red candle, is it going to take off without us? It takes off. So if you got in here, you would have had a pretty good run, but you don't just hop in, right? If you were to hop in because now you're up, well, what's your stop loss? Your stop loss is still demand, and you still don't know where you're going. So what am I gonna do? I'm not chasing that. I'm gonna press play. I know where my demand zone is. We popped, we dropped, we created demand, and here we go. Look what price just did. It came back to pick us up. I'm doing this replay because too often we are in the market and we just think that we're missing out. We're thinking that we're gonna FOMO and FUD into positions. This is where we need to practice the art of diffusion, right? Separating our emotions. That FOMO is just a thought. It's not a reason to enter the position. Acceptance, I'm gonna let it go. Or if I enter, I'm gonna let my stop be my stop. I'm gonna stick to my plan. I need to separate my emotions. I know that I want to get in, but that's just a thought. That's not a reason for me to enter though. Guess what we did? We were patient. So now, by us being patient, we came back down. We still have not confirmed, but we did come back down to touch or get close to our demand zone. So now, if we were to just hop in right here, again, our stop loss is below demand, but now you do know that we are in an uptrend at this point. We have established one of our lows. We've established one of our highs. We've established a higher high, right? And this could be a higher low, which would be the definition of an uptrend, right? So we wait for signals to come down and touch our demand. And then we look for these bottom wicks for potential entry. By entering here, if we did, our risk reward is about 2, right? We're in a better position than we were than if we got in up here, okay? So let's press play. How does this play out? So now we're in demand, but guess what we see? We have a doji candle that happened in the demand zone. I'm looking for this doji to turn into a morning star type situation. So at the bottom of a downtrend or pullback, there's a 75 to 80% chance that if you see a doji followed by a solid green candle, it's probably gonna take off. And that's a good ship to get on, right? So let's press play. Now we're waiting for this to form. We're in demand. Boom. We have a textbook morning star situation. You do not hesitate to get in on this play. The reason why you don't, because your strategy tells you that there's an 80% probability that this is gonna go up, right? Not only that, you have your low, and now you have your higher low. You have your high, and then you have your higher high. You are effectively in an uptrend that you've identified. So we enter our position, but your acceptance still is in play. The acceptance is that if I enter this, right? Let's say you missed your entry at the demand. when technically I want y'all to know, if you enter demand on like a doji candle or something like that, right, and the next candle is green, you're about to launch out of demand, it's a good early entry for a position. What invalidates this move, that's if a price falls below the doji. But we're gonna play it out. Okay, we got some retracement, but we accepted our position. We did not get fearful with this candle. This was a fake out, right? They tried to get us with even bearish imbalance, right? But nope, we didn't move our stoppie. We didn't get tricked out of our play. So we hit our take profit target, which is the high, but we still have a higher high. We still have a higher high and a higher low. We bounced off our demand. So we're waiting for a signal of a potential reversal to the upside, which we have not seen yet. We got a doji at the top, not confirmed. There's nothing that's showing me that price is about to fall. Now, the only thing that kills you right here is theta, right? If you're day trading. So at the end of the day, you could have trimmed your position right here, right? If you wanted to, and let the rest ride if you so chose. Because it's important to understand that we have to be present, okay? The only candle I can trade is the one that's printing right now, right? So even if you miss this, you can't do anything with any of this, right? None of this tells you that you should get into a call or you should get into a put. Not a single one of these candles, right? And if so, where do you stop? I don't know. Where do you stop? There's no demand. So let's go to the 5 minute, see what we see. I hope this is of value, right? Because I totally understand, like, everybody's different, but I do understand the mind of a new trader, right? And how we don't look at the psychological piece of this. We just look at it as bar candlesticks. That's not what it is. It's not just that. So just looking at it, right? We're in a technical uptrend. We hit our demand. We took off. Again, we still do not have an indicator. There's still not an indicator that says that we are going to fall, right? What is this on the 5 minute? This is not even an inside bar. So this, when you see something like this, all this is a pause in momentum, right? A pause in a trend, right? This is not representative of a reversal, okay? So let's play it out. I still don't have a signal for a reversal. And look, we just made a higher high. Still don't have a signal for, well, that's a bearish engulfing right here. But it's not confirmed. There's nothing about this that confirms that we're gonna sell off. Okay, you're seeing this pullback. This is part of the game. And now you get another situation where you get a hammer at the bottom of a trend. You have volume increasing as the bulls are stepping in. Remember where you entered your position. Now again, there's nothing wrong with taking profits off the table, but there is something wrong if you take profit off the table and you didn't accept the position. Because without acceptance, you have FOMO. Remember, FOMO is just a thought. It's not a reason to re-enter. That's where this comes in. Self-context. Welcome to Stocks for Real, Sacrifice for Riches. If you've been following my channel, you already know that it's about more than charts and plays. It's about building discipline, confidence, and a community of traders who look out for each other. By joining as a member, you're not just supporting the channel, you're unlocking tools and resources designed to help you grow as a trader. From rapid fire chart analysis and priority ticker requests to exclusive trade breakdowns and live Q&A sessions. You don't just watch me trade. You get to learn the mindset, the setups, and the strategies behind the moves. And the real benefit is that you'll be a part of a community that's committed to growth, accountability, and winning together. So if you're ready to level up your trading and join the community that values growth over hype, hit the join button and let's build together. I'll see you in the members tier and I'll see you in the Discord. Take care.